Alright, welcome back to Crappy Dice, and let's continue our adventure with mission number 5. Now, a lot of story happened between 4 and 5. We basically passed our master exam, attended a party. We actually left the party to investigate something underneath. No worries, go read the Spark Notes. For this one, a really simple mission, one of the shortest ones in the game. Is 3 tiles. There's a 3 cave skulls in the middle with an animate at the end. Goal of this one is just to reach the blue exit, and there's a blue loot again, blue loot on the way, and there's no special rules at all. All right, so let's get rid of this book. All right, I gotta remember where this cave skull went. All right, what's also cool about this mission is that it finally starts with your own spec characters. All right, so what we're gonna be doing is the first time I activate each character, I'm gonna show you how I spec them up and how I intend to use them, and that should be good enough to get going. All right, so let me turn this around. Now, the reason I have this marker here is that's the threat range of the animate, so it's sort of a reminder that when somebody reaches here, he's going to finally activate. Okay, so let's take care of our initiative row. Actually, upside down would help. So let's flip these around. Let's do this and that. All right, so Zeke's going to go, then Remy, Cave Sickles, Nightingale, Rook, and it looks like the animate is at the end. All right, so let's get started with Zeke. Alright, as you can see, I turned Zeke into my magic dealer. I'm not sure, I just switched it up a little bit. Alright, so he's going to have our magic wand. He's got a couple of the default items here. And this spell I gave him to start the game, it is probably the most expensive in terms of SP cost for level 1, but it's really powerful. So it's a spell 6, does 6 damage, and it inflicts wilt. And if it already had wilt, then it does condemn. And if it already had condemn, then you can kill that character outright. Alright, and just to give you an idea what wilt does, I have a whole stack of wilt tokens over here. It says during the passive, attacks made against you add +2 irreducible damage. So this is great against like armor and stuff like that. So there you go. All right, so that's gonna be my Z character. So he's gonna activate. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna use up, let's use 8 movement. All right, so his base movement is 6. I have nothing that'll increase his, actually his movement is 7. Because of the shirt. So I paid an extra 1, so his movement's going to be 9. So a little bit of a strategy for this one is I'm going to just end my movement around here somewhere so that these capsicles advance, because I don't want to activate him just yet. And remember, his threat range is right over here. So I'm going to move at 9. So I'm going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And you know what? I didn't need to advance a bit more. So you know what? I'll give myself back that SP. So I'm going to have 5 SP next turn, and maybe I'll launch a few euthanasia spells, because this one is not an exhaust spell. So you can use them multiple times a turn if you can pay for it. All right, so that's going to be it for Zeke. All right, let's go to Remy. Okay, so for Remy, I made her sort of my ninja assassin character. All right, so she's going to get some backstab knives here. This one, I equipped this one so that she can re-roll when she's doing her backstab, and allows her some better movement with a diagonal movement. So with her special flight and this extra diagonal movement, so she's very maneuverable already. And obviously the one that I gave her is Blade Works, because if she does fly behind somebody, I need Blade Works to sort of activate an attack even if she runs out of SP. All right, sort of what I'm thinking about. And I just gave her a ton of armor and a decent chance to dodge over there. All right, so she's going to move at 7, and she can move once diagonally for free. What I'm going to do is stop right here so that the cave skulls will advance. Okay, so let's use that 1 SP. I'm going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and she's done. All right, that's it. Okay, so that's going to be her turn. Pretty simple. She's going to save up on her SP so that next turn she can do some damage. All right, so let's activate the cave sickles who are going to go next. All right, so they're all going to advance and attack. All right, so their card hasn't changed from the previous missions. You already know what it is. But if you're not aware, they have hive mind, so they roll better dice the more there are on the board. Is there an opponent adjacent? No. Is there one within range 4? No. Can they move and attack somebody in range 4? Definitely. All right, so that's what they're going to do. All right, so range 4 to attack, and it's obviously attacking the closest from the nearest opponent. All right, so 4 to her is actually going to be 1 step here. This is number 1, so you always go in order. So 1, 2, 3, 4. So he's just gonna do his regular attack, and it's gonna be 2 orange dice. So let me calculate this. Is he in the sphere of influence? 1, 2, 3, 4. Yes. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yes. So he's gonna definitely roll 2 oranges. Now, just for this attack, you know what? I might as well dodge. Use the dodge skill over there. It's going to be 2 oranges. So my defense is, I believe, 10. Because of my core, there's a +1 there, plus the 9 on the card. It is a 10. So let's roll this and hope to not get above 10. All right, so they rolled a 9 plus my 2 shields. It would have been 12. So that's a miss. Oh, they do need an extra 1 too. Another reason I went there is because of the hindered terrain. So I get a +1 or they get a -1, whichever way you like to think about it. So they needed to hit an 11. 12, 13, and they hit a 9, so they missed. Right, so that's it for number 1. Number 2 is going to do the exact same thing. It's going to move over here. 1, 2, 3, 4. He is now in range. This time I cannot dodge, so I'm not going to do that. Now I can spend an SP to dodge. I'll decide that later. If he does deal me damage, I might dodge that one. So let's get to it. So he rolled a 6, so that's a miss. That's good, so I'm not going to dodge that one for sure. Now he's going to activate. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 3, 4, perfect. So let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4. No, so he had to move to this line. And let's roll for hit, and he needs basically 11. All right, and he got an 11. Look at that. So he does hit. All right, so the damage is only going to be 1 damage because there's only 1 shield. Because of his, let me see if I can focus here a little bit. There you go. +1 physical damage for each shield. He's only got 1 shield, but I got 2 armor, so that's going to be 0 damage. So if you look over here, this is going to give me 2 armor base, and that's physical damage, so the armor does block it. All right, there you go. We just did the capsicles, and I got no damage. That's awesome. Okay, so Nightingale. Where is she? She's all the way in the back over here. Okay, as you can see, Nightingale has become my archer sort of healer. Okay, so she's gonna hang back, heal us, and try to hit people with their arrows. Now, originally I wanted to make her like a battle priest type of thing, but I ended up picking up the arrow as a relic in my previous mission, and I was like, might as well use the relic on somebody, so I turned him into an arrow person. But in the future, you can sort of switch this up however you like. All right, that's the beauty of this game. As long as I don't use abilities that are tied to archery, then I can switch her up however I like. All right, maybe even turn her into a mage if I wanted. Okay, so her movement is 7 because of the shirt. So let's move 7. So we're gonna go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and be right here next to Remy. Right now, she doesn't have to go that far because she has insane range on her archery. Her bow and arrow here has a range of 6. I don't know if you can see it, but there's a 6 right there. All right, so 1, 2, 3, 4. I do definitely have range. Now, the special ability of this bow is if I don't move during that round, I get +1 to my attack. But obviously I moved, but by moving up close, I won't have to move my future turn. And there you go. Now, the special ability of this these arrows that I picked up, if it would focus, there you go. It says when you make an attack, gain +1 to your range, and there you go. So I can exhaust this before making an attack. The target of this attack cannot dodge. All right, so this is good against like a waterlow or whatever, where those, not the waterlow, but the Gavaudan that like to dodge. Also, I did pick up the successory quiver. It just gives me a reroll on a die because you know her attack is fairly weak, so I do want to reroll some dice. All right, so she's gonna attack, and I think the one she's gonna attack is the orange one that's right up. You know what? Let me go for the purple one that's right over here because there's no hindering terrain on the way. It's gonna be straight 8 to hit. Okay, so her damage on this is a white and a purple. By the way, she didn't need to use a SP to move. All right, so it's a white and a purple. And should I empower it? Sure, let's empower it. So I'm gonna go here, let's empower that. And now I'm trying to hit an 8. Let's see what happens. And I missed. All right, so there you go. Oh, and I rolled beautifully. That would have definitely damaged him quite a bit. Okay, so that was a miss and nothing else. You know what? Let me use my mend right now. Sort of something that you're gonna use at the start of every mission. Just to get my 2 heal tokens. And those are going to get ready to heal later on. Okay, so next we're gonna look at Rook. Okay, so Rook's got this massive hammer, all right? I sort of wanted to take advantage of his heavy ability, and nothing else has heavy, so I went and picked up this great hammer, which is heavy, so it doesn't get slowed down by it. So this one has 2 white, and it automatically is empowered every single round with a black die. All right, it's two-handed. Its special ability is it has a it has a force sort of shockwave that pushes everyone back if I spend an SP to do it. And there you go, he's got a lot of armor, and he's got great conviction checks with both of these. And this is the second accessory that I picked up, so I only have 2. One was the quiver, and here's the swashbuckler garb, which allows me to counter, and it raises my conviction checks. All right, so he moves at 6. He's kind of slow, so I don't know if he's gonna make it, but I think he's just gonna go and run in because he's got a lot of armor. So he's gonna go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And let me use another SP to go over here. So he's gonna sit right in front, and he's sort of out of options, right? So he moved up. Now I could use this to do an attack, and you know it is a once per encounter thing. Might as well use it. All right, so let's go get my use token. There's a relic here. So if you read it, it says make an attack. Used. All right, so he's gonna try to hit. He's got 2 white and a black. Now what I can do is, if you read this card, so my follow-up, I can spend an SP to push 1 against all adjacent opponents and inflict paralyze. All right, so if these guys are all close together, I probably would have done that in the middle and just pushed them all apart. Especially this guy would have been pushed into the pit. And maybe I'll do it anyway, because if I roll really well, maybe I'll just get 2 kills for the price of 1 by pushing this guy in the pit. So I'll keep an eye on that. So I'm going to roll 2 white and a black and see how I do. Hopefully I don't roll that miss again. All right, so I'm going to target the guy in the middle here, or the orange guy. And let's do it. So I did not roll really well, but I got a ton of shields. Now, I just need a +1 for this. So what I'm going to do is, I forgot to tell you, his ability that I attached is the hammer helm. You would have noticed this is the same one that Remy had in the first couple of missions. It lets you re-roll dice. So I'm definitely going to exhaust this to re-roll a die. And I'm just going to re-roll the 3. All right, because if I get a 5 or higher, we're going to be doing some damage. And I got a 5. Perfect. Do I want to do anything else? No, I do not. So let me read up on the card here. All right, so I did roll a 9, so that's automatically 1 damage. Now each shield is a damage and each star is a damage. So it's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 damage right there. All right, just counting the difference and the shield. So I automatically kill the character I wanted to attack. So it's going to be 6 damage to him. They only have 6 life. He's dead. All right, now I can spend an SP to push 1 against all adjacent opponents and inflict paralyze. Now, this guy is adjacent. Unfortunately, that guy is not adjacent and nobody else is adjacent. But I will, I think I will spend it just because I can auto kill this guy here with 1 SP, which would be great. All right, so let me spend that SP. All right, now he sort of has to roll. So the difference of the hit was only 1 though. So he needs to do a force check of 8. All right, it's force 7 plus the difference. All right, so his check is a white and a purple. All right, so let's see if he gets an 8. If he gets an 8, he survives. If not, I push him into the pit. All right, doesn't. All right, so he's gonna get pushed right there, and he dies. All right, because you can't end your movement or turn in one of the exclamation point spaces. Those are pits. All right, good job for Rook. That's how I spec'd him, and it worked out perfectly. All right, so that was Rook. Now the animate's gonna go. So his, let me just double check his threat because I want to make sure that it is that purple line. So range 4, and he moves at 6. So he's gonna go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then his range is 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So yeah, that's exactly the line of his threat. As soon as we enter that, he's gonna activate. All right, so for right now, he does nothing. Let's pick up all our cards, give it a good shuffle. And let's turn them around. It's gonna be Nightingale, Rook, Remy, the Animate, Zeke, and finally the Capesicles. I don't think they're gonna be able to activate. Okay. All right, so Nightingale's up. I think what she's gonna do, she's over here. She's probably gonna advance and launch a spell at this Capesicle. All right, never mind. I keep getting confused. She's now my archer, not my magic dealer. So she's this character. So I think what she's gonna do is not move right away and do a an attack against the Capesicle. So because of her ability here, if she doesn't move, she gets +1 to her attack. So that's gonna be a black and a white. All right, now I am gonna empower it. So I'm gonna use all 3. So where's my purple die? There you go. All right, so I'm trying to hit an 8, and I get a +1 to my die roll. So that's gonna be 6, 7, 8, 9, which is good, but all books. So unfortunately, I didn't do much. Now I did get some books which allowed me to move. All right, so I didn't get 2 shields, I didn't get a star, and every 2 books allows me to move 1 space. So I'm going to be able to move 3 spaces. All right, so might as well take advantage of that. Might as well move up 2 like this. You know what? Let me move up 3 like this. So that's going to be the movement of the bow. And I'm only going to deal it 1 damage. So that's 9 minus 1. It's 1 damage. Fortunately, this bow and arrow isn't working out for me quite so good. Yeah, I could have re-rolled a die. Yeah, you know what? Before I do that, let me re-roll a die. So I'm gonna exhaust this. This is my combo with my my quiver, obviously, and the ability of this, just to show you, because I should roll better than a 2, is exhaust when making an attack. Re-roll any single die except for the black die. All right, so let me move back 1 because I'm gonna actually, I'm not gonna move back 1 because I did get the 2 books there that I'm gonna keep for sure. Whoops. So let me re-roll this die here, and I got a 7. That's a lot better. Okay, so the difference between the 2 and the 7, let me just recalculate the damage. So it's gonna be 13 minus 8, which is already 5. The double shield is an extra 1. The star is a 1. So on and so on. So it'll be 5, 6, 7, 8 damage. And I still get to move 3, and that's it. So definitely killed it in 1 shot. All right, got to keep track of my abilities. She does get a reroll, and that's going to give me a loot because all the Capesicles are dead. And it's going to be 8 coins. All right, so that's good. Next, let me get rid of this card, and we're going to remove the Capesicle from the card row. Next is going to be Rook, who's I think just going to move and just make sure that he's not in. Let me see what ranges the animate has. So I don't want to be in his SOI. Besides his SOI, then we can advance because this is going to be dangerous. He's going to attack multiple times. I'd rather him just move and attack us at range 4, and that's it. Okay, so as long as I'm not 1, 2, 3, 4. Up to this point, I think I'm good. Okay, so let's advance. So for Rook, pretty simple. Use an SP to move. 1, 2, 3. And I think I'm good here. Yeah, because everyone else is just going to advance. Yeah, so let me end my turn there. He's not going to do anything else that's special. And everyone else is just going to move as well. So Remy's going to go. She's going to use an SP. It's going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. All right, she's going to get ready there. And you know what? She'll spend an extra 2 SP to move twice like this. So she's still at 2 left. And then the animate's going to go. All right, so let's read his card. All right, so if you don't remember from the previous missions, he has an ability here that he gets to attack the first time each turn again, according to his last attack. So whether it's range or melee. Then he has a heavy cleave here. The first time that he does a melee attack each turn, he gets to empower it. So it's an adjacent. He gets to empower it for free. All right, that's why I sort of want to stay out of his melee range at the start. All right, so first, does he have damage? He heals. He doesn't have damage. Is somebody adjacent? No. Is somebody in SOI? No. So now, can he move and make an attack of range 4? Definitely. So he's going to move. 1, 2, 3, 4. So now he's in range 4. Now let's see, who is he going to attack? The nearest opponent. Tiebreaker is the initiative roll, so he's going to attack Rook. All right, and he rolls a teal and an orange. Wow, quite a bit. Now, what is Rook going to do? Let me see. Could I dodge this at any point? I cannot dodge. Maybe it would have been a good idea to equip him with a dodge ability, but it is what it is. All right, so he's going to take the brunt of this roll. So I have a defense of 10. So we're going to roll, and I rolled magnificently for us. So this is a miss. Zeke's going to go. Okay, so Zeke is going to move at 9, so he's got to spend 2 SP, 1 to move and 1 to give him +2 movement, because I do want to get in range to do my spell. All right, so he's going to move at 9, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. All right, he's right here. Now he's in range 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, so he's in his SOI. All right, so he's going to go ahead and spend his 2 SP to do the Euthanasia spell. So he's going to roll his casting, which is going to be a white. All right, keep in mind that I upgraded from a purple to a white, and this is a spell 6, so we're going to add a white to that. Now I can empower this to increase the force, and I think I will. So I'm going to spend my SP to add the black die. So this is going to increase the force, and let's see what I get. All right, so it's going to be 6, 9, 10, 11, 12. So I have a force of 12. Now the conviction check of the animate is a teal and an orange, which is quite a bit. So I need 9, 10, 11, 12. I need a 12. He needs to pass a 12. All right, so he rolls, and he got an 8, which is a miss. All right, so let's go look at my Euthanasia spell. All right, so I deal 6 magic damage. Now that goes through his armor. He has armor, but doesn't stop this. Boom. All right, and I give him wilt. Give wilt and deal 6 damage. Now, if I target him again in the future, instead of wilt, it's going to be a condemn. All right, so let's give him a wilt token. Boom. And he basically, every single time that he gets hit by an attack, he's going to suffer 2 damage no matter what. Attacks made against you add +2 irreducible damage. There you go. Okay, well, there's the end of the round. Let's reshuffle. And hopefully my crew can go again. I'm actually hoping that Remy goes after one of these 2 characters so she can go behind and backstab him to get through his armor. Well, let's see what happens. Let's shuffle this up. So it's going to be first Zeke again, then Rook, then the Animate, then Nightingale, then Remy. All right, so okay, I went ahead and gave everyone their 3 SP and unexhausted everything. Now Zeke's gonna go. I think he's gonna start off by doing another Euthanasia spell. Should I empower it? Yeah, I think I will. I do definitely want to give it that 6 damage, plus it'll deal the extra 2. Actually, this does not work for spells, I believe. Attacks, yeah, it's only attacks, it's not for spells. Okay, so I'm still gonna roll my white and my empower die. It's gonna be all 3 of my action points, but to deal 6 damage is pretty good. All right, so it's gonna be 3. Oh, right now it's only 10. All right, it's not looking good. So he's gonna roll this, see if he can get a 10. And he got a 9, so it hits again. All right, so what happens when I hit the second time? It's gonna take another 6 damage. So that's 12 out of 18. And let's see. He's gonna now get the condemn marker. All right, so on his start of his turn, he has a status here that he rolls the black die, and if he rolls the skull, then he's automatically defeated. And that would be hilarious if that actually happened. All right. Okay, so that's it for Zeke. All right, so for Rook, let's spend an SP to move. It's gonna go move 1, 2, 3. Let's go right here instead. 4. All right, not that it makes a difference. And now he's gonna have 4 SP to do 2 different attacks, and hopefully he can deal 6 damage with his 2 attacks. All right, so let's spend 2 of that to do an attack. So it's gonna be 2 white and a black. All right. Now his defense is, now I'm trying to finally hit his defense and not his conviction check. His defense is 9. Okay, so all right, I do get the reroll because the hammer helm, but let's see how I do. So I rolled an 8, unfortunately. Not exactly what I wanted to see. Should I re-roll it? You know what? I won't re-roll it. I might as well wait for the second roll. Maybe I'll roll even less, and maybe I'll roll a 6, or what did these go until 7 on one of these 2 dice, and then I'll re-roll that. All right, so that was my first attack. Unfortunately missed. Let me go again. All right, let's do it. Take this, get a good roll. There you go. Oh, but I got all the shields that I really want. So I'm definitely going to re-roll this 3. So let me do this. All right, so I just need a 4. If I can hit a 4, then I'm going to be doing some damage. Come on, baby. And I got a 4. Perfect. All right, so it is a hit. So 9 on 9. Now, let's deal with the damage. So each shield is a damage, and each star is damage. So it's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 damage, but he has 3 armor. Oh, this is going to suck. He has 3 armor. Man, that's going to suck. So 6 minus 3 is going to be 3 damage, plus the 2 damage of wilt. So that's going to be 5 damage. He's got 1 life left. All right, because his total damage is 18. And he survives. Is there any... Oh, actually, he doesn't survive because my hammer helm by default does 1 damage. So all my attacks is plus 1 damage. So this is actually a 6. All right, so let's calculate that again. So the difference was 0. All right, but each shield is a damage. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 damage. Oh, sorry, 6 on the dice. 7 because of my ability. 8, 9 because of wilt. Minus 3 is 6, and he's dead. There you go. Right on the nose. All right, so that's going to give me a loot. All right, 5 coins. All right, and the rest of the mission, you know what? It's going to be pretty easy. They're just going to move, get the loot, and go to the exit. All right, so let's do it. Who's up next? The animate's gone. Nightingale's going to run. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So that was 3 SP to move there. All right, she's gonna have 1 more SP. She's actually gonna use it to heal Rook for 6 and give him an SP. Remember, the mend ability, if you do use the token on somebody else, you give them 1 SP. All right, so let's give this out of the game. Let's check Rook. Let's remove 6 damage. She's gonna have 2 left. So it's 1. Let's get another 1. All right, so healed quite a bit. All right, that was gonna be Nightingale's turn. And then Remy, who's got 5 SP left, is just gonna fly. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. All right, that was 2 SP to fly. And now they're gonna spend 1 SP to look at this token. I'm gonna go look at this, see what it says, and then we're just gonna go to the exit. Okay, so the loot over there is you get 10 gold. So I wrote on my party sheet, and you're gonna get 2 random consumables. So I'm gonna give this a good shuffle. We're gonna take 2 from the bottom of the deck, and 2 juice boxes. And we're gonna add this to our stash because everyone's already full. So it's gonna go in somebody's backpack. And then we're just gonna go to the exit. So the next person to activate it doesn't really matter. We're gonna go to the exit. It's gonna end the mission. Now the reward for this one is you gain an XP. All right, so everyone's gonna gain an XP, and then you continue on. There's gonna be no restoring between this mission and the next one. All right, so see you in the next one later.